Welcome to my corner.
Welcome to my corner. Let's have a talk now. From Miami to California. Check your girl out. I'm gonna give it to you straight up. That's right. That's right. Keeping it real, no games inside. Let's go. Welcome to my corner, y'all.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to the corner. Okay, welcome back, beauties. So by now you should have seen When They See Us. Like, if you haven't, I really don't know if you like live under a rock or whatever, but like honestly, for the past 3 weeks, the world has been talking about When They See Us. I told you guys, remember, I was like, look, after it aired that Friday, I stayed up till midnight watching it, and I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I need a minute. So the world has finally like seen it, and we all need minutes. Everybody needs a minute. So let's call this the When They See Us aftermath, because so much has taken place. Let's start with Linda. Linda.
Didn't you?
Linda, lick it. Every juice.
First, so after everybody watched it, maybe by Sunday, they begin to find Linda and drag her. Can we just applaud Black Twitter for a minute? Look, Black Twitter is like, Black Twitter will find your baby's father's cousin, stepfather, twice removed. Like, anything you need to get accomplished, you hit up Black Twitter. So they found her on social media. They went through her Instagram, every picture. They begin to like attack her. And basically they attacked her so much that she took the comments off of her page, except for one picture. So then they go in and they're all on her pictures. So they did so much that she like deactivated her Instagram. That was the first thing that happened. That was like the first day after everybody had seen it. Then after that, Charlamagne the God comes on the radio and gives her Donkey of the Day.
Well, if you know anything about the history of overseers who oversaw the plantation and oversaw the slaves, they sometimes would drive the overseer off the plantation. Oh, yeah. Ever so often, slaves would get fed up and force their overseer off the plantation. And that's exactly what happened yesterday, because almost 30 years later, after watching When They See Us, people are calling for a boycott of Linda Fairstein's books and demanding that Amazon and other retailers remove her novels from their shelves. Who in here feels sorry for her? Show of hands.
Okay, then after that, like, I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's over. Oh no, it doesn't stop there. Now, in addition to like the social media going crazy, they were boycotting her books. They're like, Barnes and Nobles, get it off the shelf. Target, we want it off the shelf. And so what ended up happening was Linda gets removed from one of her boards. Linda resigns as the Vassar trustee. Glamour magazine apologizes for naming her Woman of the Year. She's dropped from her longtime book publisher. And then, finally she speaks. And she claims that this whole thing is like not true. That like the way Ava's painting her as this bad person is not true. And we're like, so who's the bad guy? Like, really? So they just came up with this rape story on their own, huh? So you're not the bad guy? Girl, sit down. So that's basically what happened with Linda. Now, in addition to Linda, they weren't finished. They was like, oh, we coming for you, Linda, but don't forget about Elizabeth. Now, Elizabeth in the documentary was telling Linda, like, this is not going to stick. Like, this is not it. Like, let's find somebody else. And Linda insisted. So they were like, well, Linda's really the bad guy, but Elizabeth's not getting off easy. So they begin to call Columbia Law School, which is where she was teaching. Do you know that Elizabeth ended up resigning recently? After basically a protest, Black students begin to write letters about her being racist, and next thing you know, there goes her job. Like, can we just say this real quick? Whatever's done in the dark will always come to the light. Like, that's a fact. Like, you may get away with it temporarily, and temporarily there may not be any like repercussions for your actions, but baby, they will always catch up to you. Always. And so like, I'm really not, like, I really do feel like Linda's gonna come out with a statement, because they always doing like, my life has been in shambles and I've been miserable and my kids, and girl, you wasn't thinking about them kids when you locked them up. So next. Now, in addition to all these things happening, there was some good news. Did you know that When They See Us was the most watched series on Netflix. Ava, you Ava, the acting was superb. Like, I literally thought, you know, like the most watched would have probably been like Beyonce's Coachella performance, but honestly, it was this, and it's still trending. It's so amazing to watch something that matters. Like, you know, we watch TV, like Love and Hip Hop, Real Housewives of Atlanta. We watch all this crap. But to watch something that matters and is shaking the world, I think is amazing. It's making us have these conversations. Like, we're having dialogue. Now, I know in my comments alone, it was like, black people versus white people, and I was like, well, that wasn't what I was going for. I was just trying to entice some conversation. But I'm glad that we're having conversation. Now, in addition to the conversation, you got to kind of like put some action to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's great. We could talk about this all day, and what's happening is tragic, and this is America. And okay, but what are we going to do? Like, because that could be your child, and that could be your child. Now, let me say something else. Now, in my review, I said, like, they had sound like clowns. What I meant was they was tricked, and I know y'all was triggered, so let me go ahead and apologize for that. I ain't mean it like that. They're not clowns. They were little boys. They didn't know any better. So we clarified that. Now, in addition to it being the most watched series, in addition to us having a conversation, I knew that Oprah wasn't going to let... Oh, no. Oprah did this.
Tonight, an OWN Spotlight, Oprah, Ava DuVernay, the stars of When They See Us, and the exonerated Central Park 5.
What went through your mind when you heard the word guilty?
It took them 2.5 years to charge us, try us, convict us, and send us to prison. And what they didn't realize was that we still here.
We believe you and we see you.
Oprah Winfrey presents When They See Us Now, tonight, 10/9 Central, following the season premiere of Queen Sugar.
So yeah, last night, which was Wednesday, so this will air Friday, she had all of the men from the documentary, there was only a few missing, sit down and have these conversations. And y'all, I was flabbergasted in an hour and 30 minutes. Like, it was so much emotion that happened. It was so many things. Like, oh my gosh, like, Oprah did an amazing job. Now, one of the things that I didn't know was that the reason why she called it When They See Us was because originally it was going to be called Central Park 5. But she was like, that's the name that they gave them. Like, Ava was like, Central Park 5 has always been their name, but I want them to see who they are individually. I want them to see and hear each story. So when they see us, which I think is amazing, which is beautiful, it makes sense. Now, there was some things that I thought was funny, like Jarrell Jerome, who played Corey Wise, basically said the first time he met Corey went and bought him some sneakers. And he was like, oh, you don't have to buy me sneakers. Corey was like, no, I'm going to buy you some sneakers. Like, that's the way they bonded. Raymond said that when they first found out that they were guilty, his lawyer came to him and said, like, yo, you're young. You'll be all right. It's just 5 years. And that to me was crazy because I'm like, what? Like, 5 years doesn't sound like a long time, but think about it. 5 years of your life is a lot. Like, in 5 years, you progress, you change. And so, like, Raymond said that, and I was just like, wait, what? Now, one of the things that really made me the most sad about this whole entire talk, like, Oprah was talking to Jarrell, and but she spoke to Antron. And she asked Antron, she said, Antron, did you have the opportunity to reconcile with your father? And Antron looked at her dead in her face and said, no, I hate him. And my heart broke because this country ruined a relationship with his father. Like, Antron, like, from the movie, like, Antron wasn't the biggest deal. We were all focused on Corey. But after watching Oprah's hour-long episode, I was like, oh my God. Like, Antron literally said, like, I need help and I should probably go see a therapist. I'm not. I just keep busy, but I do need help. And, like, I'm sad and I'm depressed. And, like, it's crazy because it's like, oh, my God, like, you got out in 2002 and and your life is, like, you look happy. And I know people are like, okay, you know, I got all this money. But he even said, like, the money couldn't buy my mom a kidney. Like, his mom died from cancer recently. And, like, he is in distraught. Like, not only did you ruin a relationship with him and his father, but now he has like this hole in his heart. His mom is deceased. He couldn't buy his mom a kidney because you guys think like if you get settlement money, it's a lot. But they even said they had to split it amongst the 5 of them, and they had to pay lawyer fees. So really, they didn't come out with anything. Like, I mean, they made money, but like, money isn't everything. They more so want the time. One of the things that was so crazy was while they were talking, while Antron began to explain how he hates his father and how he's broken and damaged, all of the young characters, all of the young boys who played them begin to weep. And like, you see Jarrell Jerome just crying on the side, and you see they're weeping. Everybody in the audience is weeping because it's like, dang, even after all of these years, you still got to pick up the pieces. Like, it's one thing to get out, you know what I'm saying? It's one thing to get out and start your life over, but the relationships, like, you don't heal. Kevin said something so amazing. He's like, people think the money is great, but they don't know we have internal scars that have to heal. The money doesn't make up for the internal scar. And you know, that's right. Like, you need therapy. You had no childhood. Like, literally, you're trying to pick and peel yourself up together. And it's just really sad. Like, as I watched, I was just like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine. Like, I couldn't imagine my son going to prison for these amount of years, and then like me getting him back and like showing him like the important stuff he learned in prison. Like, it was a lot. It was just a lot. Like, so much has happened, but I think the fact that we're having these dialogues and the fact that they're sharing their story and they're honest about where they are, I think is beautiful. Like, Yusef said something so amazing at the end of the whole entire hour. He said, they took diamonds and they threw it in the dirt, and we're still diamonds and we're still shining. Like, I was like, come on, Dr. Yusef. Like, y'all tried to break them. Y'all tried to make them fold. Y'all tried to ruin them. You tried to bury them. But what you didn't know was that the Central Park 5 was a seed. They tried to ruin their name and their credit and their ability and everything that they were, but you didn't know they were seeds. Like, you never thought that this would happen. Like, they would come out and tell their stories and the world would be on their side. And now, Linda and whatever your name is, Elizabeth, now you're looking like Boo Boo the Fool. But you tried to bury them, but you didn't know they were a seed. And I think the most beautiful thing about this whole entire story is how they pick themselves up and they're learning to go day by day. They're literally putting themselves back together day by day. To me, it's beautiful. Like, Ava did an amazing job, man. Like, I cried, but like, I just heartbroken because of the aftermath. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are people's lives. Like, it doesn't just, after you click the Netflix remote and you turn it off, like, for you, it's over. But for them, this is every day. Like, they go into New York, and I'm pretty sure people are always talking about them. And they got to teach their kids, like, you know, hey, daddy was in jail, and I don't want you to be like daddy. So, like, I think Oprah even asked them, like, what do you tell your kids about the police? He was like, get a lawyer. Don't talk until I get there. Just these precautions. Like, oh, man, Ava, thank you so much for doing this, Ava DuVernay. Like, we don't deserve you. Thank you, Corey and Raymond and Kevin and Yusef and Antron for telling your story, for being brave enough to tell your story. I know Ava said, I'm not really watching the reviews because my biggest review was when Corey Wise watched this episode and he stood up and said, you got it right. That's all I need. And I'm like, girl, we don't deserve you. We do not deserve you. We don't deserve Ava DuVernay. We really don't. But that's the aftermath. What do y'all think? Like, I know it's been some weeks. Are y'all still feeling heavy? Like, I feel like we need to do like a call to action or something. Like, y'all all right out there? One of the most powerful things that ended Oprah's hour-long special, she said, we believe you and we see you. And for me, that is amazing because I'm like, you know what? We do believe you guys and we see you and we're going to continue to see you. And we see all black little boys around the world and we got to protect them. We got to protect these black little boys. We got to protect these black, shoot, we got to protect each other because America don't love us. So somebody got to love us and protect ourselves. But that's a whole nother conversation. Man, I really hope if you haven't seen it that you go see it. I think Oprah's special is going to run tonight and the next day. I think it's going to run for a while. So please watch it. And like when you watch it, let's chat and discuss because I think I need some therapy too. I definitely pray for Antron, you know what I'm saying? Like, broke my heart. But you know what? That's a conversation for another day. Y'all let me know what you thought in the comments below. I love y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.